Hello, wonderful people of God. This is Mama Shay here from the prayer room, you guys. So I'm coming to you guys with a word. Today I just want to talk about living in the past. God gave me a wonderful word for this. God destroys Solomon in Gomorrah, and his instruction was for them not to look back, and she becomes a pillar of salt. The book of Genesis, chapter 19, but Lot's wife becomes a pillar of salt. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. And Abraham got up early in the morning to the place where he stood before the Lord, and he looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah, and toward all the land of the plain, and beheld, and lo, the smoke of the country went up as the smoke of the furnace. And it came to pass, when God destroyed the cities of the plain, that God remembered Abraham, and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow, when he overthrew the cities in which Lot dwelt. She looked back and she became a pillar of salt. So when we disobey God, when we stray from God's word for our lives, when we stray from what God has set for our lives, we become something totally different from what God have aligned us with. You have to remember, Abraham was in covenant with God. So he protected Lot and his wife and Abraham's family and his lineage. So that's why they did not get destroyed with Sodom and Gomorrah. But God's one request for them was to keep going, don't look back. It's just like a job that's not good for you, and okay, we need the money, so I'm just going to turn around and just go back to that job, and then over time it produces something that's not good for our lives. Or a partner, we stay with this person, and when we finally leave them, we have doubt. But remind you, if God brings you out of this, it's not for you to turn back, you guys. And I don't know who needs to hear this word. If you struggle with addiction and then you finally leave that addiction, but when we turn back and go to that same crowd after God have delivered us from these addictions, and we start hanging with the people who still is in that world, we cannot put ourselves back there if we no longer live there, y'all. Something that my mom always say, you can visit, but don't live there. Don't stay there.